Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to talk a little bit about what happened to my leg. I know I've been sprinkling little insights and trying to keep you guys updated over the last couple of months since I got this injury. I realized actually I made a channel update, I think the 1st of June, and it went live June 3rd, which was the day that this freak accident happened. So I think we'll start there. As a lot of you know, I came back from spending about a month down in Southern California with both my family and my wife's family, who are all down there. There were a lot of reasons for that trip, and I guess I'm gonna put all this into one video. We're expecting our first kid here any day now. Actually, by the time this goes live, maybe even he'll be here. I don't know. But we're expecting our first kid, which is really exciting. My mom also got a really tough diagnosis with cancer earlier this year, but thankfully she's on a trajectory that is now better than what it was even just a few months ago. So that was kind of the reason for that trip. It was really hard for me to upload videos. I think I only uploaded one video while we were gone. But yeah, we got back up here to the Northwest, took some great photos on the ride back, even though that was its own adventure in itself. And we started moving things around to get ready for this baby to come. And we were moving this whole office that you guys saw, that video that I posted, where I just took everything out of the room upstairs that's next to our bedroom so we could have that turn into a nursery. I came down here to the basement, and I'm slowly been trying to re-architect this place into a space that I can work out of, at least for the next year. And yeah, at the tail end of moving stuff around, we were moving the rug actually that was in my office into our bedroom, along with trying to make some space for the bassinet. Our bed frame, which I was kind of holding up while we put this rug under it, just fell out of my hands and crushed my left foot. Went to the ER. They did some x-rays, and at the time they just said, hey, nothing's broken, so you may just have a bad sprain. And as you guys have known over the last 2 months now almost, things weren't getting better. Usually with like a sprain, you can start feeling some progress after hopefully 4 weeks or so. When that was clear, that wasn't happening. We went back to the hospital, got some MRIs done, some more x-rays done. And lo and behold, I have a torn medial meniscus in my left knee. I have a fragmented ankle, not even a fractured ankle, but like there's just free floating fragments in there. And yeah, my foot where the bed frame actually landed on has like some pretty bad cartilage and bone damage to it, which would have been cool to know 2 months ago. But I guess there's nothing different that I can do about that now. I wanted to make this video though not to complain or to be a downer or a bummer. I actually hope by the end of this video you feel as stoked as I do about creating and just like the whole creative process. Because setbacks happen all the time. Things get in the way, good things even. Like having a kid is a challenge, and yet at the same time, like there's gonna be a lot of beautiful and I think wonderful things about having a kid. I'm stoked. It's something that I've always wanted to do in my life. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. So this video, I think a big part of it, I wanted to say, like, on one hand, yes, what this channel is, or like what I've been able to do on this channel as far as like take you guys along with some of these trips and adventures and brand deals and work that I've been able to do over the last nearly 2 years since I've been uploading regularly. That was actually one of the hardest things that I had to do, I think, in light of this injury, was basically turn down all the work that I had sort of put into the pipeline for June, July. I already communicated to everyone that August was gonna probably be this like parental leave time where we're gonna have a bunch of family flying in and out, and we're obviously gonna have a new kid, and there's all the things that come with that. But now I have to get evaluated for surgery, and just in talking with different people in the medical space that have been trying to help me, it sounds like I will be lucky to be able to climb mountains and do these epic hikes and photo shoots. Hopefully sometime in the next year, it may be longer. I think a lot of the medical professionals I've been talking to have been trying to set healthy expectations, realistic expectations. I guess there's like two things I'm trying to like infuse into this time and this moment, and if I can give this to you all, I think that's the power of it, is like, I'm not waiting to get better to make more content. You guys have seen that I've already been making stuff on this channel and putting out more, just putting out more. I've been trying to put out as much as I possibly can, despite the challenges. It takes 5 to 10 times longer to set up this setup to record, and I'm trying to find ways to automate some stuff and leave some things, and maybe like I can't move entire pieces of furniture, but I'm doing what I can to try to, like, I guess, to keep going. I think that's the thing, is like, I'm not going to surrender my creativity to this issue. I'm not going to surrender my creativity to this problem or this sort of like thing that's come my way. The content for this channel is going to evolve. I don't think it's going to entirely change in a way that, like, on one hand, yes, I can't go out and do photography of these epic places like I used to. I'm actually kind of exploring more drone photography to help supplement that. And like, man, like, do I feel like Bronn from Game of Thrones, or Bronn, the little kid who wargs into crows? That's like the photographic equivalent, the photography equivalent of what I've become, is like, I'm trying to just like warg into my drone to be able to go take cool photos. So that's going to be something that I know I'm going to be trying to do over the next few months. I'm also just excited to see, like, what more can I do in this really confined, constrained space of this studio that is consistent with my style and continuing to evolve my work. I think in light of all these challenges, it's actually given me a new lens. It's terrible pun. It's given me a new way to look at how I tackle my photography and how I tell a story, and not relying on some of the things that I would have relied on in the past. Like, hey, just go out into the forest is beautiful, go out by a lake, take some photos there, it's gonna look great. And like, yeah, it's gonna look great, but like, how can we make this kind of a chill, cool vibe here in the studio and my office, and like this little library bookshelf section, which is how I sort of started my channel. It's kind of all coming back around full circle. So maybe you have been in a place where there's like something that feels like it's in the way of you being able to create. I know for a lot of people, it's the financial concerns and issues of like, hey, I don't have the money to buy a big, nice, expensive camera and lenses and travel and do all this stuff. Maybe it's the physicality, maybe it's your body, kind of like what I'm going through now, where it's like, I don't have a body maybe that can do certain things with my arms or my legs or something. There's so many things that can get in the way of creativity. But yeah, 3 characters from sort of the past, and I'll lead into like the final part of this video, which is I'm talking about some of the other content that I want to make. It's just some of the things that I've been inspired by, or the lives of people that I've been inspired by, in a way, sort of like being not like, I don't want to say like disabled, because like, while I'm like temporarily disabled, I guess, like I'm trying to like will myself to be like, it's not going to be like that forever. But I don't know what the future holds. I don't know how this is going to go. But what I do know is like, I'm going to do something with what I have. The sort of people from history that have inspired me. First of all, I think like Frida Kahlo. You guys don't know who Frida Kahlo is. Amazing painter, but she was in a bus accident in Mexico City in the 1930s. And she ended up being this prolific creator, this painter that just created this imagery that's unlike anything else, that's now so iconic and identifiable with the Mexican culture and the heritage of Mexican culture, that, imagine if she was just like, well, I'm put up, I can't do it. Oh, well, like, come on, how we'd be missing out. If you haven't watched that video, the movie with Alfred Molina as Diego Rivera, awesome. Go check it out. I'll try to like link some of the stuff down below, but if you're looking for some creative inspiration, number 1. The second one that I'm going to recommend for any creators who are running up against things is Ignatius of Loyola. I did not prepare for this video to go this deep, but we're here, and I told myself I'd press record We're going to talk about this. Ignatius of Loyola, if you're not Catholic and maybe even Spanish Catholic, or some form of like, Latin-based Catholic, probably don't know who that person is. Ignatius of Loyola was a soldier in the Spanish army. He had a really terrible wound to his leg from a cannonball, and ended up spending about a year recovering. And in that year, going through a lot of spiritual transformation. And I think Ignatius of Loyola is one of the characters throughout history that I've reflected on his writings and the things that he sort of put forth. I know that's affected my spirituality. That's part of the reason why in my About Me section on like Twitter or here on YouTube or anywhere else, I try to put like contemplative creative, and that sort of like contemplative creative is embodied, I think, by Ignatius of Loyola so well, because it's about like using creativity to think and not just be producing. I think we all have seen creators that just, they are on the grind, they're trying to pump out content and they're not using creativity to actually think about things. And I think that's part of the reason why I've been able to keep going and hope that I'll continue to keep going, because I want to be prolific in my work throughout my life. I don't want big things, difficult things, challenging things to get in the way of sort of that production. And I think the whole idea of like contemplative creative is just like the healthiest way to do it. I will link down in the description below a great YouTube video that I stumbled across while I've been sort of on this long recovery journey that talks about the life of Ignatius of Loyola. I speak Spanglish, man, sorry. But check out that video if you are in need of some good inspiration. Finally, I've recently come across standard ebooks. This is not a sponsored video. Nothing in this video is sponsored. But I came across standard ebooks. They're this group of volunteers and organizers that are trying to take some of the like OCR books from past and history, antiquity, and actually format them and put legible modern fonts to the text and arrangement to the text so that they're well and easily read on devices like iPads, Kindles, and other types of e-readers. And through standard ebooks, I came across some of the writings of Cicero. Now, I know we just keep going further and further back in time, from Frida to Cicero, Frida Kahlo, Marcus Tullius Cicero. But going back in time and reading some of Cicero's works and watching him have these sort of like Socratic arguments to the things he was facing at the time, whether it's death or the fall of a republic and famine and strife and civil unrest, like to see just a person so clearly, and I think even accessibly, more accessible than I think the standard ebooks notes would even say, has been really helpful for me to see like there's no reason to stop. Things might have to change. You may have to change your environment. You have to change the tools you're using. You may have to change how you approach your work, even in your own mind. But to see someone like that 2,000 years ago working through incredibly difficult, challenging times and still producing a body of work that has influenced 2,000 years of history has been humbling, to say the least. And in that humility, inspiring. So now, if you made it this far in the video, I will say, like, I'm not giving up on photography. I'm going to be doing photography stuff. I'm not giving up on making tech videos. I have plenty of tech videos in the pipeline scheduled and already in the works for the next few months. I have stuff showing up here that I'm really excited to try. Can't wait to do some reviews, and I'm gonna have some friends come and help me with some of the things that I can't do, but we'll still be able to add that into the content here. I also am planning on doing more sort of library notes. If you guys have been reading my Substack, I'll make sure that's in the description below. I'll link that below, whatever. I want to try to bring a video format to some of like the book recommendations and thoughts and other things that have just gotten me really excited and have been, again, like really like humbling. And also I think like this whole term of like mental hygiene has started to like bubble up in the last few years, and I think it's been good for my mental hygiene to yeah, just be talking about books, be talking about ideas, but also sharing that sort of like passion I have for both reading and writing. So I'm trying to find a way to bring that to YouTube, and you may see a little bit more of that. All right, I've let this go on like far longer than, if you're still here, thank you so much. If you've yet to subscribe to this channel, I'd be stoked if you would. Please be kind, both in life and in the comments below, and like this video to send good vibes across the internet. I do really appreciate all the kind words, everything you guys have all said, shared, everything. Link to the preset pack. It is live. If you've missed it, if you haven't taken a look at it, go check it out. It really does help me out if you purchase that. And with that, we will do it again soon. Later.